And so part of what I just want to invite you, and what I've been asked to put in front of you, is just for you to begin to pray about this, of like, what would it look like in this city for the faith community to lead the way and to start a neighboring movement, to start building the relational connective tissue? What would it look like for you to start unleashing the people out of your church and just putting the priesthood of the believers out there into every street? And I'll tell you this from my own personal experience. It'll be really messy. It'll change the conversations that you have in the lobbies of your churches. People will start coming up to you and saying, hey, my neighbor is sleeping on my couch. I don't think I'm doing this right. Hey, do you have like a program? Like, what do we have for like, my neighbors are like addicted to pain meds. Like, what do we have for that? I don't know. I think I'm in way over my head. This is way above my pay grade. Who do I send them to, right? I tell you what, when those are the conversations in your lobby, you know you're doing something right. You know that the people are being salt and light. And instead of, I can't believe you changed the carpet, right? And I think that when we do this with other churches, there's something really special about it. When we did this like radical thought of like doing a joint sermon series in our community, it wasn't just something that was interesting to people inside the churches, people outside the church. Like actually John 17 says like people will notice when there's unity. People notice. People were like, their minds were blown. They're like, all these churches that have different agendas and different programs, like they're actually doing the same thing. And it was simple enough where we just kept saying, hey, could we do this? Like what if Jesus meant our actual neighbors too? Not just that he meant our actual neighbors, but what if he meant them too? What could that be? And I've gotten to know the city a little bit. You guys have a lot going for you here in this community. This role that Ross is playing, this neutral convener role, it's a gift. It is a gift. And like the fact that you guys have only been having this conversation for a couple of years now, and there's this many faith leaders in the room, man, I would love to tell you that this is normal. This is weird. This is like a total anomaly. There's something like God's doing something here, and you have the size of the city where this stuff can really work. The size of this community actually makes it doable and makes it attainable, and you can get traction really fast. And you got a city that's on the brink. You got a city, you drive around here, and you're like, this is how I've experienced your city, is that you're like, wow, there are some exciting, incredible things. And there's also like some real tangible brokenness in some places that clearly need to be restored. And so you've got a city that could go either way. And so as I think about what's happening here, as I think about what this could be, and I don't know, maybe neighboring's the thing that you guys are going to stack hands on the first time. Maybe it's something else. That's up for you to discern and decide. But I just want to tell you something. Overall, whatever it is, I hope and I want to encourage you to get to know each other and to stack hands and begin to make a covenant with each other and a covenant to this city. And I know, and Eric knows, he's been doing this, he's been traveling around the country for a long time. If you do that with everything else you have in place, it's game over. And if you don't, you just won't change the city. I mean, I don't care. You guys, what's your church? You guys are a big church. You have like campus pastor and stuff. What's your church name? One Life, yeah. Wouldn't it be great? Like if you're, like how big's your church? How many people? I'm going to make this really awkward for you. How is it? Okay, 1,800 people. Man, wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it like just blow your mind if your church doubled in the next year? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it if you went from like 2,000 to 4,000? That'd be incredible. And there would be a lot of lives changed. But this city wouldn't be changed. If one of the largest churches in town overnight grows, which that's probably not going to happen. I hope it does, but it's probably not. And so, but it would be, I mean, in 1 year. In 1 year, come on, let's be realistic here. Okay. So if the biggest churches if one of the biggest churches in town doubles in 1 year, it's amazing. It'll be incredible, and we'll celebrate a lot of the life change. But it's not that alone is not going to change this city. The only way this city changes is if, as a collective group, many of the faith leaders come together and stack hands and begin to pray and discern, God, what's the next step that you want us to take? And there's a lot of cities in our country that are dreaming of getting to the place where you are. like of all the groundwork it takes to get here. And so I'm really, really encouraged. And I hope you are too. And I hope you begin to think about how you're going to tithe parts of your time and your energy to what God's doing here and to the city itself.